In a historic day here at the G20.
President Trump signing that new trade deal with Canada and Mexico.
With our signatures today, we will formally declare the intention of our three countries to replace NAFTA, a truly groundbreaking achievement.
Tijuana's mayor taking aim at the organizers of the migrant caravan.
Those are really criminals because they're dealing with lives. They're dealing with people. It's a federal crime.
President Trump slamming his former attorney, Michael Cohen, who's now pleading guilty to lying about proposed Trump project in Moscow.
Very simply, Michael Cohen is lying, and he's trying to get a reduced sentence for things that have nothing to do with me.
We have so much evidence of the FBI being engaged in a very political counterintelligence investigation.
Well, most families do one tree. You have so many trees here and so many hallways to decorate.
And this year it's a theme of American treasures.
All right, they probably can't hear us right now, but there's a big sign out there saying we came all the way from South Carolina to see Ainsley. So we're going to try to send her down.
She's in the front.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm coming down to see them. So, no, I'm getting ready, hair and makeup this morning, and one of our awesome security guards comes in. He's like, I was here last night at 11 o'clock. There were these ladies here. They're on a girls' trip, and they were wondering if you were here, Ainsley. And he goes, no, she's probably sleeping. And he said, come back tomorrow. So they're here this morning. I'm coming out to see you. I can't wait to meet you. I think they're from Aiken.
In the meantime, we're going to get to see Kid Rock this hour because you just heard his music on the way in, and Steve is down there in Nashville right now at his new restaurant.
That's right.
All right, Steve Ducey is live in Nashville. At least we asked him to go there, and he's never looked cooler.
Look at that. He looks like a rock star.
Great look, Steve.
Thank you very much, Ainsley and Brian and Ed. Listen, I'm in Nashville because tonight my wife and I are going to do a book signing at Walmart in the Nashville area at in the town of Franklin, 6 p.m. And then tomorrow we're going to be in Alabama and Gardendale at 3 o'clock. There's my ride. They're here. Anyway, because we're in Nashville, I got this crazy suit. How beautiful is it? It's a Manuel. It's an exclusive. I wear it very well, right? Yeah. But you know who wears it better? Ladies and gentlemen, give it up. It's Kid Rock! It is a big day. We've been talking about you coming on Fox and Friends for years, and today is the day. And you've got a beautiful restaurant here in the heart of Nashville.
And I'm all hopped up on coffee and Bailey's. Let's go.
Wait, you have Bailey's here?
We have a little bit.
I think so as well. Now, tomorrow's a big day because you're going to be the Grand Marshal of the big parade here in Nashville, right?
Yes, sir. We're expecting a little weather, but we're still hoping we can get through it.
And who's going to be riding with you in your special car?
Oh, my beautiful granddaughter, Sky, right here.
All right, how about it?
Is that not the most precious thing you've ever seen?
It is indeed. All right, so many people, Bobby, have come today to be with us. We're going to talk to you extensively about your plans because you know you've had a busy, crazy year. We're going to talk to folks and you in about 20 minutes. But in the meantime, so many of the people have come here today. They have driven for hours, overnight, etc., because they dream of one day being on stage. Am I right with Kid Rock? So, ladies and gentlemen, this is your dream come true. Everybody, it's Sing Along with Kid Rock. Hit it back there.
If this is Nashville in the morning,
We're in the
imagine
wrong
what Nashville is at night.
At midnight?
I thought this was the city that never sleeps. That is such a fun city.
Steve's got to take the shirt off. You got to just rock the jacket without the shirt. That's how Kid Rock does it. Maybe when it comes
right,
back.
I know.
Right? He's got like maybe a little T-shirt under there. That's it.
All right, there you go. All right, and by the way, that's a great place. I saw it right before it opened. That whole Broadway is amazing. Geraldo Rivera knows what it's like to be born free.
And, Geraldo, you didn't drink any coffee and Bailey's this morning, right?
Yep. And we'll get into the show.
We got another rock star, Geraldo.
If that's breakfast, imagine what dinner's going to be like.
Even as you intimidated.
Hey, Geraldo. So we wanted to bring you on for, you're always on with us on Friday, and we love you to death. We wanted to also talk to you about trade, and that trade deal was just signed. How important is that for this presidency, for this administration?
Well, I think that the significance of it, Ainsley, is that here you have our businessman president renegotiating a deal and getting better terms for the United States. It is the art of the deal. This is what his expertise has always been, and to see it come to fruition, it also heartens the whole idea of these bilateral deals. Now let's deal with Japan. Now let's make a deal with an independent United Kingdom and with the EU and with our partners here in the Western Hemisphere. I think that this is the president at his best. This is the president as a businessman.
And while he deals with this, Geraldo, though, he back home has to deal with new developments in the Mueller investigation. The Wall Street Journal just had a story that crossed a moment ago that Roger Stone is being zeroed in on by Robert Mueller. Yesterday we saw a new plea deal from Michael Cohen. Where do we stand with all that?
Well, I think that Michael Cohen is really in a lot of trouble. Let's focus first on what Michael Cohen is really facing right now. He's just pled guilty to lying to Congress. What was the essence of the lie? The essence of the lie is that Trump associates were, in fact, dealing, trying to get a tower built in Moscow. At what point did those negotiations end as the president's meteoric campaign for the presidency ascended? Up until now, Michael Cohen has insisted that the dealings with Russia ended in January 2016. January 2016. Before the president's momentum began gathering. It now turns out that Michael Cohen lied and that the business dealings about the Moscow Tower lasted until June of 2016, well into the campaign, after the president had already gotten the momentum and was the clear favorite to obtain the nomination. So it makes it a little queasy in terms of when the president dropped the negotiation. Nothing illegal. You can build a building, you can have a tower, but it is clear the president's business interests with Russia continued well into the campaign, not to January 2016,
but if that's
the
not
earlier
illegal,
date.
if that's not illegal, Geraldo, why is Michael Cohen doing this?
Why is Michael Cohen lying? And Ainsley, therein lies the peril. We know Don Jr. and others in the family also testified before Congress. It seems, though, as if the others, Don Jr. and the others, have given truthful answers to Congress. Why Michael Cohen tried to lie, whether it was to curry favor or to put the best possible spin on the president's dealings with Moscow, we don't know. But Michael Cohen now has pled guilty to lying before Congress, going with his other guilty pleas. And, I've known the guy for a while. He's kind of a schmucky, schmoozy kind of guy. I'm sorry he's in a jam now, but he's facing, a pretty grim future and trying desperately to deal to get the most mitigated sentence possible.
But the way I understand it, the Trump Organization handed over millions of documents, and in it, it showed already that not only did 3 people involved, Felix Sater, the president, and Michael Cohen. There were 2 others involved with this, but it never came off. Or although you would know better than most because of your success in business, but maybe not as well as Donald Trump. But he internationally, this is what they do all the time. He had business. He was looking speculation in Bahamas, the Cayman Islands as well. He's got 18 golf courses. He's got 2 over in Scotland. He's got a hotel in Ireland. He's got a hotel in Qatar. He's got one in Turkey. All the time, people bring you deals. The question is, would the president have been better off saying, yeah, the Moscow project, something I'm working on, I might go back to if I lose. So?
The truth is always the best alternative, Brian. There's no doubt about that. But we have to stress the fact that the president is legally entitled to do business up until he assumes office with anyone he wants to. There's nothing illegal. Once again, there is a Manafort guilty plea that has nothing to do with the president of the United States. This is about Michael Cohen's problems. Michael Cohen lied. He got caught in the perjury trap, just like General Flynn lied, just like some of the others lied. It's not that they did something illegal. It's never the crime. It's the cover-up. And that's what you had in this case, Michael Cohen trying to spin this story for the minimum possible political impact.
Well, there he is, Geraldo, a successful businessman, as Brian noted. We haven't seen Rivera Tower. It might pop up in Cleveland in the days ahead. We shall see, sir.
I'm sitting in it.
Thanks, Geraldo. Have a good weekend.
Thank you, Ainsley.
All right, let's hand it over to Jillian, who has some headlines for us. Hey, Jillian.
Good morning. There's a massive group of people outside the studio, so they're all waving out there. Good morning. People are dead, 8 others injured after a truck crashes trying to escape Border Patrol. Agents trying to pull over the truck on a California highway less than 10 miles from Mexico when the driver took off at speeds of 100 miles per hour. The truck losing control, crashing into an embankment after hitting a spike strip. The American truck driver is under arrest. Also breaking right now, a deputy U.S. Marshal is shot and killed trying to serve a warrant. The suspect, Ryan Schlesinger, shooting the officer while barricaded inside a home in Arizona.
Oh my God. Get behind the car. Hurry up. Go. Go inside.
Well, Schlesinger eventually surrendered. He was already wanted for stalking law enforcement. The name of the deputy marshal has not been released. Overnight, Vice President Mike Pence meeting the remains of 2 fallen special ops at Dover Air Force Base. The bodies of Army Captain Andrew Ross and Air Force Staff Sergeant Dylan Elchin returning to the U.S. Those American heroes, along with Army Sergeant First Class Eric Amond, killed by the Taliban in a roadside bombing. 13 U.S. service members have been killed in Afghanistan this year, 5 in this month alone. Ronna McDaniel is keeping her job as RNC chairwoman. President Trump tweeting, quote, "As RNC chair, Ronna McDaniel oversaw history-defying gains in the Senate and unprecedented fundraising strength. I have asked her to serve another term for my 2020 re-elect because there is no one better for the job." McDaniel says she's honored to serve again. So congrats to her.
All right, Jillian.
All right.
Thank you.
Keeping her job. Thank you so much, Jillian.
All right, straight ahead. President Trump just signed a new trade deal with Canada and Mexico, but this meeting with Vladimir Putin, well, that was put off his schedule. Kevin Corke is live at the G20 with details. Even without Vladimir Putin, Kevin had to go.
Yeah, exactly. In fact, is Kevin here right now?
Nope.
He's all right, but he's coming up. But Steve is live in Nashville at Kid Rock at his brand new restaurant. Steve.
That's right. Thank you very much, Ed. Is everybody having a nice time? Take a look. We've got a guest bartender back there because, after all, it is the 8 o'clock hour of Fox and Friends. Kid Rock's in the house, folks.
All right, we're back with the Fox News Alert. Moments ago, President Trump signing the historic trade deal with Mexico and Canada, the USMCA.
The United States-Mexico-Canada Agreement, or the USMCA, as Brian just said, will replace the NAFTA. Now,
our correspondent Kevin Corke live on the scene in Buenos Aires with what happens next. Good morning, Kevin.
Good morning, guys. The president said, you know, sometimes battles make for great friendships. And indeed, that was certainly the case as it relates to the battle over the USMCA. It has finally been signed by the leaders of the U.S., Mexico, and Canada. The president hailing that signing this morning here in beautiful Buenos Aires as a win for the American people. But not just that. This is also, he said, a victory for our neighbors to the north and to the south.
We gathered together this afternoon. We've worked hard on this agreement. It's been long and hard. We've taken a lot of barbs and a little abuse, and we got there. It's great for all of our countries. I look forward to working with members of Congress and the USMCA partners, and I have to say it's been so well reviewed, I don't expect to have very much of a problem.
Overwhelmingly, and we tried. President talking about the idea of getting this over the finish line through congressional lawmakers. Now, earlier today, Mexico's President Peña Nieto also awarded his country's highest honor to a foreigner, the Order of the Aztec Eagle, and for Jared Kushner, the president's son-in-law, for his hard work to get this negotiation over the finish line. One other thing we took note of today was the Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's comments about the need to keep working, obviously a reference to the heavy tariffs placed on Canadian steel and aluminum. We've talked a great deal about that. Clearly, they would like that to change, but at this point, everyone seems happy that the USMCA is, in fact, signed and in the books, at least without congressional approval, but that will come later. The president seems very confident that will happen. One more thing, guys, before I let you go. A full slate of action for the president today, in addition to a bilateral with Japan's Prime Minister Abe. He also has meetings with the leaders of both India and Austria, as well as a cultural event tonight. Should make for a very interesting day here in Buenos Aires. But for now, back to you.
All right, Kevin, thanks so much. And one of the headlines to emerge from that is using the comments of Justin Trudeau to say, I would love for the aluminum steel tariffs to be lifted.
Yep.
He wants that done, so
Maybe
he made his
that'll
mark.
happen.
Meanwhile, Tijuana's mayor says he's never seen anything like this caravan before. In an exclusive interview with Griff Jenkins, who I've met.
These people are coming in violently, unrespectfully, not as a good law-abiding citizen.
So, what message does the mayor have for President Trump? Griff has the answer live in Mexico next.
And it's a yearly tradition here on Fox and Friends. Janice Dean is 350 feet up in the air. She's ready to scale down a building, all in the spirit of Santa. Janice?
Yes, and I just did it moments ago, but we're going to do it again with the GM from the Yankees, Brian Cashman. You're going to watch it. Earlier, there were tears. I was sick to my tummy. There were a few swear words. We'll make sure everything is on delay. Don't go away. It is happening. 22 stories up on Fox and Friends.
All right, this is a Fox News alert. The mayor of Tijuana, Mexico, is sitting down for an exclusive interview with Fox News.
He says he has simply never seen anything like this. Thousands of migrants camping out in his city, trash on the ground, trying to gain entry into the U.S.
Griff Jenkins has been there the entire time. He's with the caravan in Mexico and joins us now in Tijuana. Hey, Griff.
Hey guys, good morning. Yeah, you can just see the trash everywhere behind me. The rain has made it much worse, and we want to give you a quick look inside at what Mayor Juan Manuel Gastelum calls a humanitarian crisis that's costing him some $30,000 a day. The people that you're looking at in here are suffering from 60% of them have a respiratory flu-like symptoms. There's a lice infestation. There's tuberculosis. There's all sorts of issues in here, and at the end of the day, Mayor Gastelum blames the organizers of this caravan for it. Listen.
Those are really criminals because they're dealing with lives. They're dealing with people. It's a federal crime. If they ask me, do you know who they are? No, I don't know, but just look at the films. Look at them and you'll find who are they.
And aside from the actual situation that he's got with the organizers, look at the situation now. I want to bring you back on camera, the water that's just got a baby stroller, all of the problems here. And the mayor says that he's seen migrants for years, but nothing like this. Listen.
We're a migrant town, Griff. Yes, but we have never had this problem. No migrants trying to cause trouble. All migrants came in peacefully. Some of these people are coming in violently, unrespectfully, not as a good law-abiding citizen, and that's what hurt us.
Lastly, he worries we might see the migrants getting desperate here and rushing that wall again. Sunday's mayhem cost over $6 million of trade in the 6 hours it was shut down. Lastly, I asked the mayor, by the way, with President Trump signing this new trade agreement, what would Mayor Gastelum say to President Trump if he had a chance to say something? Here's what he told me.
So what would I say to him? Let's build bridges of understanding. We don't care about the wall's been there for years.
Mexico inaugurates a brand new president, López Obrador, tomorrow, and Mayor Gastelum hopes that the new president here in Mexico will help him out. Guys.
All right, great interview, Griff. Appreciate you coming in.
All right, hopefully these countries can get together and we'll find out what's going on.
Meanwhile, the president saying Michael Cohen is lying about his guilty plea to get a lighter sentence. Is he right? We'll debate it coming up.
Judge Janine is fired up, too, and there she is going to react. Soon she's going to be moving her lips.
We're also going to be heading back down to Music City. Steve's live with Kid Rock at his brand new restaurant. Hey, Steve.
That's right, Ainsley. This is where it all happens. There's Blake Shelton's place. We got Jason Aldean, Luke Bryan's, and, of course, the place we're here for today, Kid Rock's joint. How much fun is it to have your name on a place?
It's pretty damn fun.
No kidding. Should we go in and we're going to talk to you in about 2 minutes.
Can't wait to get drilled.
Huh. You're okay. Come on.
I'm gonna turn around, settle down,
wardrobe changes and also getting a sneak peek at Kid Rock's Honky Tonk and Rock and Roll Steakhouse before the grand opening.
It is fantastic. Now the man of the hour himself with the man himself.
Steve and Kid Rock.
Two rock
Good
stars.
morning.
Take it away, Steve.
I don't think he can hear us because the crowd's so loud.
Steve, we tossed to you brilliantly.
Steve, talk.
Steve, talk.
We get it. They like you. How'd you like that opening animation? You weren't wearing your shirt much.
No, I was a young buck back then, you know.
Listen to you. Now, I got to tell you right off, we've been trying to get you, Bob Ritchie, Kid Rock, to be on the show for a long time. We're actually friends going way back, and when we moved into a neighborhood where you lived, do you remember what the welcome gift you gave me was?
Oh, absolutely. It was a Toto toilet.
He gave me a toilet.
And it changed your life.
It was the craziest thing. But then I was thinking, what else would Kid Rock give somebody who moved in? It's not like you're going to give him a Keurig. So you gave us that toilet.
And
now,
you hit a button and it sprays.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Crazy.
It's genius.
It's quite an operation. Now you are such a patriot. You have got on your garage door the American flag.
Yes, I do.
Where does that come from?
I love America.
Yeah, that's right.
Pretty simple. I guess the way I was raised. I still believe I live in the greatest country in the world, and I'm very fortunate to be able to, work hard and enjoy all the fruits of my success and help others out along the way. And just generally, the people that love me, God bless them. The people that hate me, just understand no matter what's going on, I'm somewhere having way more fun than you are.
You mentioned how you were raised. Your mom and dad are here today.
They are. Mom, dad, sister, my son.
That's right. You are the Grand Marshal of the big Christmas parade here in downtown Nashville.
No, my granddaughter is really the Grand Marshal. I just get to ride with her.
Right. That seems about fair. You were involved in a little talk about politics, maybe running for Senate. It was all part of a publicity thing in the last year. What about when you're done with the rock and roll thing? Would you think about getting into politics?
Oh, I bet if I have enough to drink one night, I'll think about it again. I think I'm best served on the sideline, being a cheerleader for our troops and our veterans, and performing for them, and just maybe trying to pay my taxes and just be a good American.
Now, you don't know this back in the studio, but Bob showed up about an hour ago. He took a picture with each and every person, and more than one person I heard say, "You entertained me when I was overseas fighting in Iraq."
Yeah, a young lady did back here, said, "I saw you in Iraq," and I said, "God bless you, thank you for your service," and that's always special, always special.
What's it? Why do you do that? You could just live out in your fancy houses you got all across the country, but you
my fancy trailers.
You do have a trailer home here in the Nashville area.
We live in a double wide trailer here in Nashville. It's a very, very nice double wide trailer.
I have seen the pictures online. It looks great. What do you think? As you talk about going and entertaining the troops, you do weigh in on politics from time to time. How's the president doing?
I think the president's doing a great job with his policies. I wish, I heard you earlier in a bumper asking people, what was their biggest concern. And mine would be just, the division in the country right now, that it's so hard for people just to get past, that we can disagree and still be cordial with one another, and just talk about things without going for each other's throats and protesting everything. And God forbid you say something a little bit wrong, you're racist, homophobic, Islamophobic, this, that, and the other. People need to calm down, get a little less politically correct. And I would say, love everybody except, I'd say, screw that Joey Behar bitch. Everybody.
No, you cannot say that.
I mean lady.
We apologize for that.
I mean lady.
Listen, she's just got a different point of view than you do.
Exactly. Hey, maybe we'll go on and I'll hash it out with her. We'll talk about it. But anyway, exactly, aside from joking, which I was, is just go out and, hash it out with people and have your thoughts and ideas. But be able to still go have a beer with somebody and just say, hey, we all love this country, and let's have different ideas, but try to move forward and be more together and realize at the end of the day we're all Americans.
We are all Americans. How great was that? Well, thank you very much for inviting us here. You apologize for that language, right?
I did apologize for the language, not the sentiment.
Oh, well, we don't feel that way. We apologize for both. Bob Ritchie, Kid Rock, thank you very much. Thanks, everybody, for coming out today. All right, back to the studio.
All right, Bob and Steve.
I know where I'm going in Nashville. I'm going right there. That place looks fantastic.
It's a party at 7:36 in the morning there, local time.
I could see those two on Fox Nation every day. I mean, I could see
They're very entertaining.
Bleep out certain things.
But we do need to apologize. Yeah. We don't feel that way about Joy Behar, so that's we don't condone that language.
All right.
All right.
Jillian's got some other headlines. Good morning again, Jillian.
That's right. Good morning to you. The man accused of murdering his brother's entire family and lighting his own home on fire is due in court today. Paul Canero charged with killing his brother Keith, along with his sister-in-law, niece, and nephew, then setting their New Jersey mansion on fire. Prosecutors say Paul also set his home on fire to make it look like the whole family was being targeted. They think he was motivated by money. His lawyer says he's innocent. ICE slamming the New Jersey Attorney General's new sanctuary policy. The agency says the directive, which limits cooperation with law enforcement agencies, will undermine public safety. This all comes just weeks after learning a suspect in a triple murder was an illegal immigrant released from a New Jersey prison instead of being turned over to ICE. And look at this terrifying new video from the deadly campfire in California. A sheriff's deputy turning on his body camera when he thought he had just moments left to live. Wow, the deputy found the nurses and got out safely. Social media influencers shop at what they think is a luxury shoe store called Paylessi. But what they don't know, everything is actually from Payless. Watch this.
I would pay $400, $500. Yeah, people are going to be like, where'd you get those? Those are amazing.
Shoppers shocked to find out they paid hundreds of dollars for shoes from the low-cost store. The social media experiment meant to tackle the brand's perception of being cheap. It's kind of funny.
That is really funny.
Yeah.
That is great. Yeah.
All right.
I have. They have one right near my apartment.
Yep. Right and left shoes, not just one, both. Meanwhile, you know her as the weather machine, but today Janice Dean is the repelling machine. She's ready to scale down a side of a building.
Scared.
This has never been done before. Janice, we'll be with you shortly.
Yeah,
and
she's excited.
President Trump says Michael Cohen is lying about his guilty plea to get a lighter sentence. Is he right? Judge Janine is fired up.
For a change,
She's
she
here
rarely
to
is fired.
react.
She's got a new pair of shoes.
Good Friday morning and welcome back. Some quick headlines now. Colorado drivers no longer have to choose between male and female. Starting today, they can select gender X on their licenses if they have a doctor's note. Right now, 4 states and Washington, D.C. allow a third option on driver's licenses. And Michigan lawmakers are unhappy with kids' meals at fast food joints. More than a dozen state lawmakers backing a bill to stop fast food chains from handing out gender-specific toys like action figures or stuffed animals. They say it limits kids' imaginations and interests. Ed.
All right. Former attorney to President Trump, Michael Cohen, pleaded guilty to lying to Congress in a deal he just cut with Robert Mueller. But the president claims Cohen is lying to get a lighter sentence. He also called him a weak man.
Does any of this lead the Mueller investigation closer to collusion?
All right, I cannot wait to talk to Judge Jeanine Pirro about that, not only because she's booked, but because she's a best-selling author, knows all the players here, and that's the name of her book, Liars, Leakers, and Liberals. So we see this yesterday. We got about 7 pages, and we watch at 9:34 Michael Cohen walk out of the courtroom. And since then, all cable channels have been hyperventilating about what this means for Donald Trump. Is it closing in? What does it mean legally?
Nothing.
Nothing. Nothing at all.
It means absolutely nothing. Look,
So why did he do it?
So why did he do it? Because they forced him. This is what happens. People don't remember everything. People say things that they can't exactly remember, and then the prosecutors come in and they say, "You willfully lied. You said this before." And then you say, "Gee, maybe I forgot. I'm not sure." Well, you have to come up with a reason. Why I was trying to align with his messaging. Here's the bottom line. Donald Trump is the one who provided this information voluntarily to Mueller regarding the Russia attempt at the tower development in Moscow. Donald Trump was not involved in the negotiation. His team goes in, as they always do whenever they go into a country, try to develop, a building or a hotel or whatever it is that they're building. Now, it didn't work out. He didn't do it. Let me ask you this. If the Russians were really intending to own Donald Trump so that they could get access to whatever they want in the United States, they would have made such a sweetheart deal for Donald Trump that Donald Trump wouldn't have had a point or a choice other than to make sure that that deal went through. It didn't go through. They ended it kaput. It's over. Now, Michael Cohen is a liar. He's an admitted liar in federal court. Campaign finance and campaign debt, all that nonsense. What's amazing is nobody's talking about taxi medallions, which is the real issue, where they could have sunk him big time, but they didn't. So what do? They bring this out to make it look like, oh, there's Russia collusion. There was no Russia collusion in the dossier. There is no Russia collusion in the Donald Trump Jr. meeting at the tower, and there's no Russia collusion here. You show me how the fact that Michael Cohen said it ended in June of 2017,
not January.
not 16, not January of 2016. I was off by 6 months. It doesn't matter when it ended, okay, because nothing came of it. And no, it doesn't influence anything. It doesn't show that the election was affected, that votes were affected, that emails were affected.
Judge, let me ask you something. If knowing that, and
it's
if
ridiculous.
legally, I've talked to like 9 different people, they all agree with you. Legally,
they do?
Yeah, legally, I see what you're saying. But if the president's asked multiple times about Russia, he goes, one of the projects I'm working on is a Moscow project. I've been talking about it since the 80s.
Right.
It never got off the ground. Would that have been a better answer than I don't have any business interest in Russia?
No. And I'll tell you why. Because he doesn't have a business interest in Russia. That is the bottom line. He does not. In truth, I can say, you know what? I've always wanted to have a pair of shoes from that store over there. That doesn't mean that I'm negotiating with them, that I get them, or that I bought them, or it doesn't mean anything. He wants to build all over the world. He is Donald Trump. All right, need I say more? But the reality is when you put that shovel in the ground or the pen to the contract, that's when you got a deal.
Well, and it wasn't, even if he had done a deal or been talking to them, his argument is that was in 2016. I wasn't president then. That was legal.
I'm a businessman. This is what I do. And until you elect me president, I'm not going to change what I do. And I am doing it legally. And if there's something wrong, then you tell me, but there isn't.
Lastly, the Jerome Corsi, Roger Stone, talking to Julian Assange, not talking, I deny it. There's emails that say back and forth. Some wanted to draw the circle. Say, okay, Julian Assange, let's emails to make Hillary look bad, that make Donald Trump look good. He's got a Moscow project. They're trying to make that circle clearly. What's your response?
My response is you could do whatever you want to Corsi and Stone. Corsi does not want to plead guilty to intentionally and deceitfully lying. This is what prosecutors do. Look, I was a prosecutor for 30 years. This is what they do. They get someone by the short hairs and they pull. And they say, you lied. You lied about a material fact. That is willful deceit. And the guys start shaking in their boots because they don't want to go to jail. They don't want to lose their family. Their family's not going to have any income. Yep. So they say, okay, yeah, I lied. I didn't mean to lie like Michael Flynn. I didn't mean to lie. I made a mistake. We all do. This is what they do. And when Adam Schiff says, now we have to look into this. What are you looking into, little Adam? What are you looking into?
Little Adam. Speaking of looking into, people should look into Fox Nation because your empire is expanding.
Yeah, you have a 10-minute justice every day on Fox Nation?
Yeah, it only takes me 10 minutes to get out what I need to say. You know that because you have me on for 10 minutes.
I haven't spoken for 10 minutes. I've been watching. Thank you. Well, get Fox Nation, download the app. It's fantastic programming.
Thanks,
all right, especially when you're on,
good to see you.
Thanks.
Oh, I know.
It was like, good job.
Yeah. She's a counterpuncher.
No kidding.
A yearly Fox and Friends tradition is just moments away. Janice Dean, 350 feet up in the air, is about to scale down that building.
With Brian Cashman.
That's right, from the Yankees.
But first, check in with Bill Hemmer, who never ran the Yankees.
Yeah, I did not. Like to run the Reds, though. I don't think they have me. Don't look down. Morning, guys. On a Friday, breaking news on a trade deal with Mexico and Canada. Question from Argentina today, is China next? Full coverage today on these big meetings at the G20, so live events for the next several hours from there. Also, Michael Cohen admitting to lying. There was fresh reaction from the president on that topic today. Can Congress get a deal on the border wall? New details from Steve Scalise on that, so come join Sandra and me. We are packed on a Friday morning, 9 to noon. We'll see you in 11 minutes, guys. Top of the hour.